All right, it's another spotlight on the schedule. We got the head coach of Grand Canyon University, Danny Roy, with me. And Danny, first of all, welcome to 117 degrees in the middle of the desert, right?
Yeah, that's life here.
So we're talking spotlight on the schedule, and I know your schedule is out already, and you're set to go with it. But tell me a little bit about this year's lineup and who you're going to be facing.
This year's we kept it pretty similar to how we were going to start off our schedule compared to last year, and the opponents that we'd at least see on the regular basis. So we'll start off again against ASU's ACHA D1 team. Following weekend after that, we'll play University of Arizona. So almost identical to how we started off last year with those three big D1 games to just get going right off the bat. Then we'll go into ASU and into their D2 game that they're hosting for us, and then from there it gets really busy quick. Our big additions were to add two more Division I ACHA games in there. Our goal has been to move up to ACHA Division I, and in order to do that, it's to continue to show that we belong at that level. So playing ASU D1 and U of A and UNLV there early in our schedule before the applications due is going to help us with getting that passed.
So tell me a little bit about when you're building this roster now. Year three? Mm-hmm. Year three of the program, and you had a chance to move your way up. And how close do you think you guys are to being a D1 team, assuming that you get approved?
Well, our philosophy with recruiting going into this season was to basically recruit as, if we were to be going into our first Division I season this year, would we be a top 20 team? Would we be at least competitive right in that area? And that's how we wanted to recruit based on our returning players, but also the players that we're talking to bringing in and building into our future for this program. So that way, with the hopes of being accepted for 2019-20, we roll right in, and we're right in the mix there in the top 15 and pushing for nationals right away.
One other thing, when I look on your home schedule, you got a new home. It's right behind us here at AZ Ice Arcadia. Give me a little insight into what prompted the change and why you feel so comfortable being here at Arcadia.
Well, it kind of just all happened things happened right at the right time. The Bobcats were moving out of here, and AZ Ice Arcadia approached us about the idea of moving over here. They had originally wanted us over here, and I had also entertained that idea when we were first looking for rinks and stuff. But with the Bobcats here, it would have been pretty difficult for scheduling and things like that. But now with that open space of having an opportunity to come in and be a premier program at this rink, and now with a new youth program as well starting up, and being able to basically have our program kind of be that program that helps their youth program push into the future of those kids' hockey careers and stuff, and a place to look at. So the goal here is to kind of have a similar thing that ASU has at Oceanside, and a rink that their players are able to call home. We want our guys to call this place home, have GCU at center ice, and then have a youth team that looks up to us, that eventually we may start seeing future lopes within that program.
And I know one of the things you're in the process of doing is getting that locker room, having your own locker room, and one that's big enough for you guys is important on your list too. I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I mean the plans are already drawn up and ready to go. It's just a matter of where the funding's coming from and how we're going to get that going, and we're currently working on that phase. But the locker rooms, it's a big enough locker room for actually to have our men's and women's team have a dedicated space with 30 stalls in it. We have bathrooms and coaches' rooms, storage up there and stuff. So, that's the other big push that came over here, is the opportunity was available to build that space, and that's that's another plus going into the future here.
So when we look at your schedule, you're about a month and a half away from opening things up mid-September, right?
Yeah, September 14th is when we get going, right? And we'll start our camp September 1st. So from day one of camp to our first game, there's not a lot of time. We have a lot of work to get going and get ready. I know the players have been anxious and have been in the gym and been working out and getting on the ice a lot. They're ready to go, ready to get in here. So it's going to be exciting to see what our returners look like from last year and what our incoming recruits look like to add to that.
And one thing with the D2 schedule, your always goal is to make it that national tournament. And there's a couple of ways that in the D2 level you can get there. You can qualify, right, by being one of the top 2 seeds still, right?
Yep.
Or you can play your way in and go through the tournament process. And I'm guessing that win-loss record is something you'd like to do and see if you can get yourself that automatic bid.
Yeah, well, that's we have the schedules built to do that. Now it's just a matter of, like you said, get those wins up and those losses down. Try to be a little more consistent across our schedule than what we were last year. And I know we've added the pieces of the puzzle. I know our returning players have now experienced what it feels like to lose in a regional tournament and miss out on going to nationals just a round out. And so we have the experience there now. The culture of the program's growing. That tradition of the program. Now players kind of have something to play for compared to before. There wasn't a past or a history on this program. So now we can point it out. You know, we don't want to go to that regional tournament and get knocked out after a long battle of a season. We want to be able to make it right to nationals. We have a team that can definitely do it. We have a team that can be at the top of the West. And I know we have a team that could push for a national championship.
Well, Danny, we'll be back with you at the start of the camp in September. And this year, as I told you, I don't know if I've told the general public yet, but we'll be with you every Tuesday and doing some player profiles and following along with both your men's and women's program all season long.
Nice.